Happy holidays. I'm Ann Martin from Wilmington, Delaware. It's freezing outside, so I'm going to stay here in my dining room and make holiday cards with quilling paper. Today, I'm going to be making these holiday cards. It's quilling, not quilting. Lots of times when I search quilling on the internet, it will say, "Don't you mean quilting?" No, I mean quilling, with 2 L's. What I start to do first is to cut my paper strips. Actually, I tear them because that gives me a smooth edge when I do the gluing. This is my needle tool. It's my tool of choice now, but in the beginning I did find it a little bit hard to get used to using. I like to dampen my fingers just a little bit before I start to roll the paper because it helps me to grip it more easily. I roll this paper around my needle tool. Start at the very end of the strip and roll it like this all the way to the end. When I reach the end, I slip it straight off the tool and let it expand. I pinch both ends and make a marquee shape. Then I dab just a tiny amount of glue right at the very end, and that's going to be one of the bracts for the bottom layer of the poinsettia. Now that I have my 7 marquees shaped, I'm going to add a layer of gold trim paper. I do this by applying just a fine coating of glue all around the outside edge. This is the shiny gold paper. It's 1/8 inch wide. Now that I've finished the green layer, I'm going to move on and do the ivory layer of bracts. That's what petals are called on poinsettias. These are made just the same way as the green petals. It's just a slightly shorter length of strip. Now that all the components are done for the bottom 2 layers, I'm ready to start on the very top layer. It will be 7 tight coils. This is done a little bit differently in that I'll glue before I remove the paper from the tool. Hold it just for a second, and there's my tiny tight coil. Now I'm going to give the tiny tight coil just a little bit of extra shape by using a glass-headed pin to push up from underneath the coil. That gives it a little bit of a domed appearance. Now I'm ready to assemble all my quilt components into my design. This is the part I enjoy most. I'm going to take my green bracts and arrange them into the right shape and add just a tiny bit of glue to each. I like to work on the back of a foam tray from the grocery store because the glue doesn't stick. Once it's dry, it'll pop right off. The bottom layer is finished, so now I'm ready to build the middle layer. To assemble the layers, I'm going to put a dab of glue right in the center of the green one. I'm going to move this middle layer, the ivory layer, right on top of the green one, and off-center the petals just a little bit. My next step is to take the 7 tight coils and place them in an arranged design right around the center of the poinsettia. And now I'm ready to insert the metallic cord that will be the hanging cord for the ornament. I slip it through one of the bottom bracts, and now I tie a loop at the top. I've gone ahead and made this card. It's green cardstock with some decorative foil papers. And now I'm ready to put some double stick tape on the center square of foil paper. I've used some double stick tape so when the person receives the card, they'll be able to just pop off the ornament to hang it on their tree. I finished the poinsettia card, and now I'm going to do one that uses alternate side looping instead of rolled coils. I work with 2 strips of paper at the same time. And then I fold down the strips together at the very end, just about a ½ inch, and put a dab of glue to hold them in place. Then working with both strips at the same time as if one, I just surround that loop with another one. Just keep looping the paper, and I'll make 6 loops all together. This series of loops is actually called a wheat ear, and I've snipped off the excess paper, and now I'm going to glue the ends in place. And I shape it to give it a little bit of curve. And now I'm going to make another pair of loops. Each of these will be glued on either side of that wheat ear. I'm going to make 2 more wheat ears. Each will be 3 loops. And now I glue all these pieces together. This doesn't look like a holiday ornament yet, but there's still a few more steps. I'll wrap another loop around it, and then a crimped strip. The inner loops just need some shaping. Now I'm going to use this paper crimper to roll a double strip of green paper. I just use a little dab of glue, and then I just snip off the excess. I've made a large tight coil to add to the top of the ornament. I fill it with glue and place it right on top. I've finished my quilled holiday ornament, and I've also made 2 other ornaments. I've made a holiday card out of cardstock and gold quilling paper. And now I'm going to put it all together. And my quilled holiday cards are finished.
Up next, we